Hello guys, hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy White. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please, if you are new to my channel, kindly hit on that subscribe button, turn on notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you. Okay guys, so in today's video we're going to be making this lovely tear dress, and we're going to be using this Ankara that we have here, this African print that we have here. We're going to be using it to make this lovely dress you are seeing here. So in making this particular dress, it's called a tear dress or a gypsy dress. So this dress comes in layers. It could be 2 layers, it could be 3 layers, it could be 4 layers. It all depends on your preference. But for me, I'm going to be making it in 3 layers. And you can decide to have it pleated or gathers. Alright, so but I'm going to be making a little bit of twist in this particular dress I am making. I'll be making it in 3 layers, and for the first layer I'm going to be cutting it using half flare, 180-degree flare, cutting it in 180-degree flare, while the other 2 layers will be different from the upper layer. Okay guys, so I folded my fabric into 2. I'll be cutting the front part of the dress first. I folded my fabric into 2. The length of this dress is 62. The length is 62, and the half length I'm working with is 19. So 62 minus 19, that gives us what? 43. So now I said I want to have it in 3 layers. So for the first layer, I am going to be cutting it, the first layer, I'm going to be using 12 inches to cut out the first layer. The second layer, I am going to be using 15 inches to cut it, while the third layer, I will use 16 inches to cut it. So remember I told you for this upper part, I'm going to be cutting it using 180-degree flare. So I folded the fabric. I am going to divide the waist. Okay guys, so the waist I'm working with is waist 37. So I'm going to be dividing the measurement, waist 37 divided by 3.14. That gives me 11.7. I'm going to add 1 inch to it. That is 12.78. I will approximate it to what? 13. Remember, we're going to be having, I'm adding the seam allowance, the joining at the side to what I am cutting now. So I will come over here, place my tape, mark my 13 inches like so. So the next thing I will do is to connect it. Okay, after doing that, I'm going to go ahead, put my tape this way. Now I want to get the first layer, which is 12. 12 is here. I'm going to add 1 inch to it for joining at the upper and lower parts. 1 inch to it. So what I will need now, as the length for this upper part is 13 inches, I will come over here and put down my 13 inches. Then I will connect it. I'll connect what I have here. So I'll go ahead and cut. Okay guys, so I folded my fabric again. Now we're going to be cutting the back, as you can see. So this is the front. Now we cut out. What I did was just to mark out the zipper allowance there. So I placed my fabric this way again. We're going to be cutting the back. So now I'm going to be using the same radius I had for the front to cut out the back. So I'm going to be cutting the back now. So I'll go ahead and open up this back like so. Guys, so the next we're going to do is to cut out the other 2 layers. Okay guys, so now we have been able to cut out the first layer. So in cutting out the second layer, there are some calculations that we are going to do. Remember we said this is the first, for the first layer we cut out 12, then we added 1 inch for joining on both sides, right? So for the second layer we need 15 inches for the length, 15 inches for the length. So now we're going to mark our 15 inches like so. For the length, we'll be adding 1 inch for joining, right? So that makes it what? 16 inches. Okay, so for the length, what we need is this Ankara that I'm working with is by 45. On the tape is 45. So now I'm going to be measuring using the measurement of what we have here. What I have here on this flare, I put my tape this way. I measure what I have here. What I have here is 20.5. Remember, it is on fold. This front is on fold. So if you times this 20.5 times 4, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you understand. For the front and the back, times 4, that gives us what? 82. So if you want to attach the second layer to this first layer, you need 82 inches that will go round from the front to the back. So now I'll be adding a little bit of pleat. I want it to have pleats on this on the other 2 layers. So what am I going to do? I'm going to times this 82 I got times 1.5. So that will give me 123 inches. 123 for this second layer. Inches. So I'll be removing these 3 inches. So I'm going to cut out 120 inches. So what am I going to do now? I will place my fabric. I folded it again into 2. I'm going to mark for the length. This is the length, this is the width. So for the length, I've gone ahead to mark 16 inches. Can you see it? 16 inches. Remember, it's 15. Then 1 inch for joining to this upper part and the lower part. So I will come over here and take my 16 inches like so. Okay, since this fabric is by 45, I am going to cut out 3 of these. So 45 times 3 is 135, but what I need is 120. So after cutting it out, 3 of it, I will take out my 120 inches. So now I will go ahead and cut out the first one. Remember, we're going to be joining, so you need to add 1 inch in joining the fabrics together. So I will connect it this way. Okay, so I'll place it on another one like so. I said I'm cutting 3 of it for the second layer. Okay, this is it. This is what we have. So now we're going to be joining them. So because we're going to be joining them using 1/2 inch, I'm going to be adding an extra 2 or 3 inches to that 120. So that means I could still take my 123 inches because I am going to be joining them. So for the third layer, it will now be 120 times 1.5. That will give us 180. So what I need 180 inches. So for the third layer, we said we are going to be using 16 inches. 16 inches. This is our 16 inches. 1 inch for joining for the upper part and the lower part, for the upper part and the lower part. So I'm going to be adding 1.5 because I am going to fold the hem. So instead of adding 1 inch to the 16, I'll be adding 1.5. I want to fold the hem. So 16 plus 1.5, that will give us 17.5. So I'll be marking 17.5 like so. Then I will connect it. So now I will cut out. So I'm going to be cutting 4 of these. Okay guys, so this is what we have. This is the first layer, this is the second layer, and this is the what, third layer. So what I will do next is I will go over to my machine and connect everything, join them, the layers together using what, 1/2 inch. This piece we have cut out, I will join all the sides using what, 1/2 inch. Okay guys, so we have joined all the sides of the layers. So now what I'm going to do, this is the first layer, I'm going to place the second layer on the first layer like so. What I did is that I notched the midpoint of the first layer. So now I notched the midpoint of the second layer. So what I will just do is to place it like this, and I will pleat to the end. I will make my pleat to the end. I will do the same thing for the other side. Then after doing that, I will attach the same way I did for the first layer. I will pick the third layer and attach it what, to the second layer. Okay guys, so I've attached all the layers together. This is the first layer, the second layer, and the third layer. So I went ahead to hem, to fold the down part of it. So the front of this gypsy dress we're making is going to be a bustier, as you can see. So I went ahead to use my pattern to cut on the fabric, added all the necessary seam allowances. As you can see, I've cut out the lining for it. So what I will do next is I'll go ahead and join all the sides together, add my interfacing and join them. Okay guys, so I've joined the bustier and I've joined all the darts. I've gone ahead to use the measurements to join both the front and the back together. So the next thing I'm going to do is to get the lower part of this gown we are making. I'm going to get the lower part, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, from one end to the other end, I'm going to be joining it like so, using 1/2 inch. From this end, I'm going to join it, use 1/2 inch, and join to the other end. Then after doing that, I'll go ahead and fix the zipper. Okay guys, so here is what our gown looks like. Can you see it? So I went ahead to use the leftover fabric to cut out this sleeve you are seeing, and I added what, elastic at the hem, just to fold the hem. So I actually used the whole 6 yards of this Ankara fabric in making this dress, guys. So if you want yours to have more pleats than what I did, you can actually use 2 inches or 2.5 to times whatever measurement you arrive at. All right guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share this video, make your comment. Till our next tutorial again, we'll be doing something else. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.